Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WGLNA Season 1 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, the man, the myth, the legend, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube, /WGLNA. And as always, go ahead and follow us on Twitter, @WGLNA.
While you're checking out that browser, go ahead and open up battleviewer.com if you haven't already. Why, you may be asking.
Yeah,
We
why,
started
David?
before, but we will always do it again. So while you're there, you can easily view standings, match listings, respond to exclusive Battle Viewer polls. You can actually interact with other players, see what they think. View YouTube and Twitter, and it's still the same Twitch chat that you're always used to. So there's literally no reason for you not to be using battleviewer.com.
Absolutely. It's always better on battleviewer.com. Also, guys, when you're on that website, go ahead and open up a new tab and type in fantasywgl.com. This is World of Tanks Fantasy League. Before every night the matches start, you can pick your 7 teams or your 7 players from any teams that you're playing tonight. They accumulate points. Points equal tons of prizes. Prizes could be in-game premium time, in-game gold, and premium tanks that are only available you can get nowhere else, like the Hype 59. So go ahead, go over and check that website out. But enough of me talking. Let's roll the clip. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as always, David, I have chosen Meadowhawk because I will pick him play or not. We're going to the top, Christian. You have a fantastic name. But also for tonight, Arclit from Elevate and J Smooth from Synergy. They're having a head-to-head battle. I'm excited to see. I'm expecting that battle to go long. Hopefully some points get accumulated for me. Before I ask you what your choices are, I do have to ask. I heard word on the street you are no longer number 1. Is that correct?
Of course. This is what you have done to me by pointing it out.
Sorry.
I wasn't going to say a thing. But shout out to T1 Diabetic for taking the lead by a little bit.
Okay.
Now you got to hold it for the rest of the season.
There you go. Challenge is on. But, David, tell me about some of your picks for tonight.
Like you, I think Elevate and Synergy is probably one of the matches that's supposed to go longer, right? So just like last time with Elevate and Refuse, it doesn't really matter who you think is going to win. A lot of people double up on the team they think is going to win. The way I see it, Synergy has 2 players that consistently put up a lot of points, and that's Pub Whisper and Executus.
Right.
Meanwhile, for Elevate, they like to spread their damage a little bit, and it depends on the match. But right now, I'd probably go with Static out of all of them, but that's why I don't double up on Elevate most of the time.
All right. Well, let's take a look at this Tuesday's scores. If you guys missed anything, up first we had Elevate losing to Refuse 3-5, followed by #RU losing to Synergy 1-5. Third, we had Noble beating 07 5-3, and finally Simp clean sweeping Maple Freedom 5-0. Now, David, let's go through these matches one at a time. You can kind of walk me through what you were thinking. Up first, Elevate and Refuse 5-3. Elevate got to a point where they were 1-4, and they started clawing their way back. Looked like maybe had another tiebreaker victory, but it didn't quite work out for them. What were some of the things you saw from that match?
So Elevate had a chance to come back there.
Yeah.
And they almost started at the very least, and it's hard to say if that last match would have actually gone to Refuse or Elevate.
Okay.
Although once the brawl happened, Elevate certainly had the better tanks. They had a chance to reset. They failed for a multitude of reasons, and so the match went to Refuse. But overall, neither team really played extremely poorly or threw a lot. Both teams played fairly well. Elevate perhaps not playing as well as they can, as we've seen them play quite a bit better, and Refuse playing quite well. And one thing I want to point out is Rude Awakening, who largely does a lot of their calling, actually was on painkillers. For he fell or something. He hurt his back, and so he's manning up, toughing it out, and playing. It's crazy.
Good for him.
I don't know how many people can do that.
All right, well, that's amazing. So hopefully he gets better. Hopefully he gets better soon. But what a great job for being playing like that. Next up, we had #RU versus Synergy. #RU losing to Synergy 1-5. So 2 things that I saw happening. Synergy came to play. I mean, they showed up. And #RU just seemed like they weren't giving them the respect that they deserved.
I don't know what was going on with #RU. I don't even want to speculate, honestly.
Okay.
We've discussed many times before that they're a hot, cold team. So sometimes they're playing well enough to beat Elevate, and sometimes they're not. And,
Sure.
you know, some people may look at that match and say that hashtag you threw the whole thing. And while that is certainly true in some instances, Synergy was playing exceptionally well.
Right.
And I believe if they continue doing that and they maintain that confidence that they showed as that match progressed, that they can go toe-to-toe with anybody, just like they said. And we'll certainly find out today when they play Elevate.
Absolutely. Excited to see that one. But next up, we had Noble versus 07. Noble beating 07 5-3. Now, this was an interesting match. 07 seemed to be very kind of hot and cold, back and forth. Some of your thoughts?
I mean, that's exactly it. In one match, they're playing so well that Noble didn't really have a chance to win that game.
Right.
And then the next match, they're all camping the K line on mines, and it's just game over at that point. So if 07 can maintain that quality that they have when they hit their highest levels and remain constant, then they can definitely maintain their position as time goes on. Just something we haven't really talked about a lot, right? 07's always been near the top, but we haven't really hyped the fact that they're up there because they had been yet to play some of these teams like Noble, High Voltage, or Noble and some of these other teams, right? But if they keep playing that way, then they're certainly worth discussing at that level. And I don't think Noble played as well as they could have overall.
Okay.
But 07 arguably should have or could have won that match without the throws.
Wow. All right. And then finally, to close the night, Simp versus Maple Freedom. A quick matchup. Simp clean sweeping Maple Freedom 5-0. It just seemed as if Maple wasn't quite ready to handle that level of play, as Simp was, throwing out that night.
Yeah, and I mean, not to offend Maple or anything, but that wasn't particularly unexpected. I expected Maple to take a game or two off of them, sure, but to get clean swept, I think their nerves must have gotten in their way. We've certainly seen them play a higher level of game, but when you play against a team like Simp, they cause mistakes. They cause you to crumble a little bit to every little thing that you get. You pay too much for it,
Gotcha.
And it makes it easy to make mistakes. Even if Simp is losing in that instance, they still have a very good chance of winning. But throughout that set, Simp looked great, and Maple did not.
Yeah.
So 5-0.
Yeah, one thing I'd actually like to say, Morphic from Maple before the match started, he was saying how it's cool to be able to play against team members that he's been watching for seasons. So I thought that was kind of cool, maybe an exciting moment for him, or maybe not so much. But let's take a look at the standings going in now, ending out our fourth week. Up on top, we have Refuse now with 14 points, followed closely by #U, 07, and High Voltage. And down at the bottom, Rival, Game Over, and Land. Now, David, we've been talking a lot about the bottom and the kind of the relegations that are there and the present danger of that. But let's kind of focus on the top. As the season goes on, who do you think is going to hold that top three positions? What are the teams you've been seeing that have really been showing up?
So right now, Refuse is looking like they will stay up there.
Okay.
#RU potentially falling a little bit. Elevate, Simp, Noble already falling quite a bit. 07, we'll see. They certainly can.
Okay.
Synergy can climb a bit more, but the rest of their schedule is kind of rough, and they're pretty far down, so it'd be hard for them to get all the way up. The one I want to point out is High Voltage. Now, they're only sitting at 4th overall, and they've lost one, but their loss was an overtime loss, whereas everybody else in the top has an actual loss.
Oh.
So they have a 1-point advantage in that instance, just based off of the loss they had, and they have no overtime wins, so they have full points from all their wins.
Wow.
And they've played at least one less game than everybody above them. So
they have room to
go.
As
this goes on, and they've been getting buys throughout the season, as we noticed some teams play twice a week, some don't. High Voltage hasn't yet. So as this goes on, if High Voltage can maintain that, beat some of the higher level teams they haven't played yet, then they are sitting pretty to take first over time. And it may not look like it right now, but that's how brackets work. That's how standings play out.
So definitely High Voltage is someone to look forward to. Keep your eye on them. But let's take a look at tonight's matchups, as we do, I believe, have High Voltage playing for you guys. But first, though, is Lamp versus Rival, followed by Game Over versus High Voltage. Third will be Elevate versus Synergy, and to close out the night, Refuse versus 07 Gaming. Now, David, out of the 4 matches tonight, obviously you were just talking about High Voltage. Is that the one you're most excited to see, or is there another one that we should be looking for?
Not High Voltage today.
Okay.
I'm most excited to see Elevate and Synergy.
Yeah.
Because if Synergy can maintain the level of play they've been at, and if Elevate doesn't rise back to where they were, then Synergy has a great shot at unseating Elevate in this instance. Whereas this is kind of a make-or-break moment for Elevate for me. They've lost to 2 teams that are quite good. And they did fairly well against them. Now, they never look at it that way. Everybody always looks at the mistakes they made more than the successes of their opponent.
Sure.
But this is kind of a make-or-break moment in my mind. If they don't win this one, it could be a very steep grade downhill from here for them, as that's got to be hurting their team on the inside, how it works. Any team can't really survive that many losses. But that's not to say that Refuse in 07 isn't going to be a great match and have similar implications, as can Refuse keep holding their top position, and can 07 maintain that level of play that we saw in a handful of their games against Noble, and eliminate the other matches that we saw against Noble.
Well, absolutely. Saying really exciting games to look forward to tonight. I'm actually excited to see our first game, Lamp versus Rival, just because we haven't seen Lamp. They forfeited their last match. We haven't seen them a lot. I'm excited to see maybe if this break is something that helped them out. Maybe we'll see what they brought to the table, because they need to start winning maybe every single game to really avoid relegation. They've got a tough climb ahead of them, but we'll see. Hopefully they can pull it out tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining it. That'll do it for the pregame show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with match number 1 right after this. You want when the tank you're shooting at only has one more shot to go, but there it is. Anvil finding Magos, and now there's a 3-on-2 heavy 20 with 4 shots in that AMX 100. There's one of them, and now they're going to try to collapse him and take it 9 before he gets the other one off, but he does get the second one off. Warbander going to finish him off, and 60 feet trying to get around the corner. Blue Boys captain on the chase. There's a little slide, and nice pickup from Blue Boys captain. One more tank remains. Anvil getting a shot of Warbander, nothing connecting. Blue Boys going to finalize the deal. 4 victories now, 4 high. The response, but is now down to 9 more seconds. Static and G-Forcer have to find this rush. They have to do it quickly. Arclet getting a good pickup on Eclipse down there in the south, and now it's Arclet and Emerald against Master Putin. Getting the reset, exactly what they needed. G-Forcer coming up, and now it's a 3v2. Let's see if #U can turn this around. G-Forcer getting a lot of damage on Valera there, who is going extremely low. Game restrict finding Zodella. Static picking up Valera, the resets are coming out. Now it is a 2-on-2, abrasive finding G-Forcer. Static needs to find Kazo to make this worthwhile up on top. Static is going to find him, and now it is a 1-on-1. The AMX 100, who just used his last shot, and is now going to be on the run from Static, who is going to have free reign over him for a solid amount of time here. Monterey taking a lot of damage, getting cut in front of Pride. 716 jumping below half, and they're rushing to these 3 members. Jay Smooth getting annihilated. Photo finish, a great pickup there as they're rushing to the back. Executus now going for the one. They're running right for Dry Knights in that 1390. He's getting as much a shot as he can. Executus with a great amount of ram damage. Moderate getting extremely low. He was one more shot. Let's see if they can pick it up before he has anything to say. Brodus can be able to find this. Tanks dropping left and right. Extremely aggressive play coming up for Synergy Gaming on defense here. Not sure if it's going to work out for them, as Nis going to find Executus. Pride center at cap point. Let's see if Rival has a good response in this. Some shots going in, firing by Blue Boys captain over on the side. Nothing connecting yet. Now down to 10 seconds. Wallhacks either pop around and get a shot off quick, or Rival is just going to run in and take this one. But over on the side, anyway, coming around, Wallhacks popping out, getting destroyed before he can take a shot off. But to Killzor, getting a good chunk into there. Exactly what they need to reset the cap, but the pressure is still on, and being a tank down, Rival hopefully can maintain the lead they have, but a lot. Picking him up, Heavy 20 also finding the Django. World War II Fnatic though gonna try to respond by taking Heavy 20 down, but this Killzor is one shot away. World War II Fnatic gonna pick that one up. HK coming around from behind as Anfield finding Anubis. A 4-on-4 now with the HP in favor of High Voltage, but ever so slightly is Valkyrie finding Angry Guy. Ox Mathis in the T32 trying to find one more shot in the hole. If he can shoot it, he will go down. He does, he finds it, taking down that IS-3, a great pickup, but might have to sacrifice himself for it unless he can get out of here before HK has a response. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WGLNA Season 1 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, the one, the only, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube, /WGLNA. Also, go over to battleviewer.com if you're not already there already to get a much better experience reviewing. And also follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you can stay up to date with what's happening in the community around you.
You can also check out the question of the day, which is, do you think anybody will reliably break the Steps camp this season? Personally, I think many teams already know how to.
Okay.
And I think everybody's got to be keeping it in their pocket for the playoffs or the finals or something, because it just makes no sense. It's there. It's obvious. We've talked about it a little bit. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was thinking if anyone's going to do it, I'm assuming they're going to be using that northern aggressive offensive boosting position, right, with the trains going up to the A1, A2 position. That's what would be my kind of guess if anyone's going to break it.
It's a little bit of a gamble to get a tank up there, but it can certainly be a part of a strategy that would break that. I mean, as we saw, Mathis got boosted up there. That helps its artillery angle.
Yeah.
But, only time will tell.
Absolutely. But up first, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go have our first match of the night. Lamp versus Rival, and the face-off is ready. On the side of Lamp, we're going to be having Starshield. On the side of Rival, Spanish. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Oh, another day in paradise, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Go ahead. We're going to Starshield. We're going to start with you. Now, you guys have had changed your roster since we last saw you, and this comes kind of at the tail of a forfeit. What can you tell us about that?
About all the details, or you just want to know why we brought in those two individuals specifically?
Let's go with the two individuals specifically.
Okay, Ali, which is Super Destructor, however you want to pronounce his name, I don't even know.
Okay, good.
Is a good friend of Mark, Halo. So he comes in, I played with him a few times. Mark, obviously, quite a bit. He trusts him, so by all rights, I know he's going to be a good team player. Giorgio is another one. Unfortunately, I haven't played with him before, but again, quite a few of the members of our team have played with him rather extensively. So both people I can trust, and I'm rather eager to see how they perform.
So what can you tell us about that forfeit in particular?
I was kind of figuring it would come to that question. I'm not going to get into too much detail. I don't want to create any more dissent. There was a lack of communication. It got a bit heated. Exactly how, unfortunately, again, I'm not willing to say. No offense. And decisions had to be made. So it just culminated in us not able to field for the day. So, in turn, forfeit.
All right, well, it happens, and I hope the changes you've made work everything out for you.
Absolutely. Now over to Spanish. We're going to go ahead and talk to you now. Now, you guys lost last week to Maple Freedom, which was a battle most of people expected you guys to win based on what we've been seeing so far. What caused this to happen?
Well, Maple has been a scrim partner of ours since last season in Silver League, and whenever you have a trusted scrim partner like that for so long, you kind of gain some knowledge that other teams might not have about each other. And they just played their strategy perfectly, and we didn't have an answer for it.
And there you go. I've been in that same boat myself many times. Often the people that you want to practice against are some of your worst enemies or your biggest threats. So you're one of the teams that is unfortunately lower on the standings right now, and you have many of your higher level teams left to play, assuming they stay, those higher level teams. It's been crazy so far. If you wind up facing relegation, what will you do? Are you going to come back next season? Are you going to change some roster stuff?
I honestly have no idea. I've not even thought about it yet. We're still contemplating how we're going to do this season, and we're working towards bringing our record up so that we don't have to worry about this question in the future. So, in short, all of our focus is on winning.
There you go. It's a good focus to have.
That makes sense.
Keep those negative thoughts out of your mind. Starshield, do you have any words for Spanish before the match starts?
Unfortunately, I'm not much fun for conversations. You probably noticed. Hope to see you in the matches. Really about all I can say, and best of luck.
Great. Spanish.
Good luck, have fun.
There you go.
Gentlemen, best of luck tonight. We'll see you guys in the battle shortly. All right, they're going.
Starshield's voice is awesome.
I was like, is he doing that on purpose?
At first,
that is amazing.
At first, I was the same boat, but that was almost as awesome as Spanish's crazy mind reading headset thing he has going on.
What I don't understand is Starshield. He said he doesn't like conversation. And with
no,
that,
he said he's not much for conversation.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
if he doesn't like conversation.
Well, if he's not much for conversation with that voice, that's got to be hard for him. That's got to be you probably just say a word at Starbucks offering a coffee, and they just
that'd be like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
and
saying,
Sean
I don't
Connery,
like talking.
Sean Connery combined, just not gracing us with the presence of their voice.
Starshield, come on, maybe he should just start announcing everything. We'll just dub his voice over ours. Anyway, getting off topic, going back to this, Lamp versus Rival going to be the coming up. So now we're talking about Lamp having no points so far, really needing these victories, every single one they can take. Looking at statistically, are they if they don't win tonight, are they really in trouble for relegation, or can they still come back?
It definitely gets into a danger zone territory. I'd have to run the exact math, but there's so many relationships there that it gets a little bit tricky. Let's go ahead and check out those rosters so we can see some of the changes that we were talking about. So for Lamp, I believe, it's Super Destructo Tyrannosaur.
There we go.
And Jojo Jackie, I believe, are the two that they added during this point in time. And they are missing Fat Crow, I believe. Over on Rival, no changes from the last thing we saw, but players to look out for in general there are World War II Fnatic and Valkyrie Viewus, if I remember right. I'd have to check the stats. Most recently, last time I checked was about a week ago for those player relationships specifically. But soon we're going to be finding out whether Lamp's roster changes and their overall team dynamic change pays out for him.
Yeah, well, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, as we're ready for our first matchup of the night, Lamp versus Team Rival, getting right into it. Like Dave was saying, let's see if those roster changes help Lamp out or if Rival can continue these victories against this lower team. David, what do we got for tanks?
For Lamp, we have a 110, two 5100s, three T54 lightweights, and a 5916. For Rival, a 5100, two IS3s, three T54 lightweights, and an MT25. Now, we usually don't see the MT25 unless Refuse is playing because Rude Awakening loves it. Nobody else really uses it that much, but it can definitely be a huge attribute on this map. Lamp going very hardcore right off the bat, doing a classic Northern Cap, probably going to rush through with all these 54 lightweights, and 5916, that makes sense. He gets a little bit more damage out with his clip in a shorter period of time, which on these kind of corner shock and awe fights is more important than sustained damage from some of the other tanks. Perhaps we'll see actually the new German tank from 9.9 come out sometime soon, but we will see. In the meantime, we will also see if this move pays out for Lamp or if Rival sees it coming.
Right, a lot of damage, or a lot of shots already coming out at the beginning of this battle. Smiley, Aggressor, and Baby Halo running in, but HK taking a lot of damage over the side of Rival. A good pickup, a lot of focus fire going over, nothing connecting, but there it is, Aggressor finding the first kill of the match, taking down HK in that MT25, and now the shots have been fired. Base capture is on. 48 seconds already going down as Smiley, Aggressor, and Baby Halo pushing even further into this town. World War II Fnatic needs to be careful as he's taking some shots from all around him, from the front and from the sides. Let's see if one more shot, and he will go down. Let's see who can have it. Valkyrie trying to pull Aggressor out, but Baby Halo going to pick up another kill, and that is 2 tanks down for the side of Rival. Looks like the cap was getting reset. Down another 30 seconds. More shots coming across into Valkyrie over in that IS3. He needs to be careful of himself. Looks like Hall has come to join his buddy, trying to help it up. Anubis in that 5100 taking some shots over from the side as we have the Django moving in with another teammate from Rival through the city, trying to find what they can, but the brawl here is still going to Valkyrie, dropping extremely low. One more shot. He will go down. Baby Halo looks like he's going to look to find it. He gets the shot off, and the Django finding the first kill on the Destructo Tyrannosaur. A fantastic name to try to say quickly. Hall taking some more damage, but the cap is down to 8 seconds. Fine, the reset's going through, but Fight Breast Cancer getting a lot of damage on Urtai over from the city. Aggressor turning his turrets back in to try to help his teammates out. Anubis gonna find Smiley, but Fight Breast Cancer gonna respond by taking Urtai down. Now the Baby Halo and Hall going at it. One more shot. Baby Halo will pick it up. Let's see if he can get to cover before another teammate for Team Rival finds him. But over on the side, Django running for his life. Only 2 tanks remain for the side of Team Rival. One more shot. He'll go down. Jojo Jackie lining up the shot, taking the shot, and firing successfully. It is just Anubis left, and Lamp looks like they're going to pick up the first victory of our first match tonight.
Well, that went decidedly in Lamp's favor.
Absolutely.
I'd actually like to take a moment here to point out that if you check at the bottom of the screen that we see right now, our new fancy 9.9 mods have added back in something we used to see and are always ecstatic. Equipment and equipment and consumables
There
are
you
there.
go.
So now you can get a little bit more intel on your opponents if you're a pro, or if you're aspiring, or just interested to see what kind of things they use.
Yeah.
Now you get to see it. But Lamp right now, not even going to bother trying to pick up Anubis. I don't blame him. No point in chasing after a full health 5100, aside from farming some fantasy points for people that probably aren't you. And then, why? You get this win right in the bag.
Exactly. Taking it, cap running down to 0 seconds. Lamp picking up the first victory of the night against Team Rival, and yeah, that was an amazing push for them. Like we were talking about, the key in that northern cap is to just take those tanks and not just like set up, but send some on the way through, which they did very successfully. Put a lot of pressure, took a few tanks down. Looking at what is the main counter going at that from, if you are Rival when you see so much northern cap, is Is it to do what they were trying to do by sending someone to the city, or is there a better way to go at
You
that?
usually send 1 or 2 in the city to try and get resets, and you focus on winning the fight at A6. That's typically how you want to handle it. It looks like Rival got a little bit caught off balance. Lamp playing significantly better than we've seen him play in the past.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice is Baby Halo is back playing, hopefully consistently. He was sick, I believe,
yep.
for a while. For some reason, he was gone, and he has always been one of their best players, if not the best player on their team.
Sure.
Had I known he was going to play, probably would have affected my fantasy picks a little bit. Halo, give me a shout out next time. Anyways, just a great play by Lamp.
Yeah.
Getting it done. Still not a huge fan of the Northern Cap, but against Rival wasn't prepared for it, and it is a very tricky thing to defend.
Okay.
So it is what it is.
Now, certain lineups that you would bring to defend that Northern Cap, would you include maybe more lighter tanks, more heavy tanks?
I mean, there's 100 different ways to do it, honestly.
okay.
One of the most important things is 5100s, or R5100s. And yeah, perhaps some lighter tanks, a little bit better of a DPM fight there in that northern part there. But the IS-3s and the 54 that were already there just didn't play particularly well. Get the right cover, get the right angles. They're picked apart by Lamp's 54 lightweights that were there, and actually took a significant amount of fire from the people on cap, which when you're on the defending side and you're trying to prevent that from happening, that's the very last thing you
don't
want to
do.
Because it's just you don't want to get shot. And
Free
it's one of the easiest places not to get shot from in that whole thing. So that's
free damage
that's
going
it.
across is never good. But ladies and gentlemen, we're into our next battle of the night. Lamp versus Rival. Still same size, haven't switched quite yet. Lamp up now 1-0. Let's get right into it and take a look at what do we got for our tank lineups.
Oh, this is entertaining. Well, doubly
Doubly entertaining.
So for Team Rival, we have a 5100, 2 IS-3s, three T-54 lightweights, and Bert, the FV304, driven by HK93G3. For Lamp, 2 5100s, 3 54 lightweights, a VK2801, and a KV5. Glad to see the VK2801 a little bit more. As we discussed, its burst damage, what it does in one shot, is quite good. Out of all the scouts that you could run, it is it's not as good as its older brother that they just added in, the Spähpanzer, I believe.
That's the new one.
Yes. However, for 6 points, it is significantly it's a significantly high amount of damage for one shot. Arguable overall, but if they use it for a blocking maneuver like we've seen many people do, it's one of the better tanks to do it as it is rather large.
Okay.
And Lamp going
Action.
for the same thing again.
Yeah, already kicking off. If it's not broke, don't fix it. As we have Baby Halo, Aggressor, and Smiley again doing the same exact thing as last time, pushing in to this town. This time, though, not finding HK, which is an improvement for Team Rival. David, looking at kind of the setup here, if you are Rival, what can you do to stop what Baby Halo, Smiley, and Aggressor just did? You just try to set some tanks up on the side and punish them as they're moving in, or?
The biggest thing is finding the right angles for shots from the EF road area and then having an actual direct engagement force block out the right angles. Pretty much the way Rival's trying to do it right now, you take this whole red line situation where the guys from the Delta Village area can't fire, and you force them out of that with IS-3s, 5100s, whatever.
Sure.
And then when they go to the other side of the buildings, they're getting consumed by Delta Village, so no matter what, they're kind of just in a weird position.
Okay.
And you just bring more HP, more DPM, whatever, and just win a raw tank-on-tank fight. Try not to get shot by their people on cap, and make sure that you don't get capped out. KV5 Invade taking quite a bit of damage here, just really his job.
Aggressor also taking a good chunk of damage to that T-54 lightweight, though. The cap was like keep getting reset. Now down to 27 seconds, and HK finding Invade in that KV5, the first pickup for the side of Rival against Lamp. Now 23 seconds on the clock. Hall taking a little bit of damage to that IS-3, World 2 Fnatic as well. But let's see if Rival can do a good job responding as more damage coming across Baby Halo, taking some, getting tracked, using that repair quickly and wisely, I might add, so he does not get lit up from Delta Village. But here is the Django. He is on the move. The cap going down to 15 seconds. They get another reset on Super Destructo Tyrannosaur in that AMX 5100, but the cap continues to go down. No, Jojo Jackie running off the cap, resetting the cap. They're getting off that at all, and the fight's beginning to go. Lamp pushing it across these three members of Team Rival, and over on the side, Jojo Jackie taking a lot of damage himself. Baby Halo, one more shot. World 2 Fnatic looks like he's trying to get it. A shot just barely missing him, and over on the side, the Django going down to Super Destructo Tyrannosaur. A good pickup there, trying to loosen that pressure. Lamp, though, down over 1,000 HP points over against Rival. Now World War II Fnatic backing up. Baby Halo still extremely low there. Just one more shot, and he should go down. He's got to be extremely careful. Cap pressure going back on, but World War II Fnatic gonna find Baby Halo, leaving now 5 tanks to the 6 of Rival. 5 being on Lamp. 3 minutes and 53 seconds in the game, and Lamp has decided to get off of the cap, pushing in any further. Super Destructor Tenors are going up and meeting his teammates here in the village with Aggressor and Smiley. Looks like they're going to try to find Hall. David, looking at the kind of the positioning of them right now, was that a smart move for Super Destructor to move up?
Well, they need him up here to finish this fight, but stalling out isn't going to work. He's going to get pestered by the people in Delta Village, and they just unfortunately don't have enough hit points to introduce themselves on that corner, take all the shots from the IS-3s, the 54, and whatever else can hit them, to get Super Destructo Tyrannosaur into that situation. So, in theory, yes, you need his damage there. In reality, in practice, there's no way to actually get him in to do that damage. Ultimately, I mean, where they're sitting right now, that's actually a very big pickup for them. Jojo Jackie sniping with that 2801, which is a bit of luck and a lot of skill. It's not exactly the most accurate tank, but you can get used to it. Just kind of a standoff right now. Honestly, either team still stands a chance of winning, although Rival certainly in better position.
All right, Smiley Rage taking some more poke damage as he's trying to get some, maybe World War II Fnatic or Valkyrie. Either one of them would be a good target to find. Another thing that I haven't really seen a lot on this map is that artillery being brought. What are some of the benefits of that as we're seeing? I'm not sure it's what it's been doing. I haven't really paying attention to it, but is that you think a wise pickup from them?
Yes. So Bert, little FE304 there, fires a very high arc, fires relatively quickly, doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So he can sit all the way back here right where he is, and he can reset cap all the time. So that's what he's there for, to make sure nobody can get through the top. It's a little bit of a weakness if people assault the southern cap. There's probably some angles he can get to reset southern cap as well, although less favorable angles than he can the one cap. But the big thing is he isn't as reliable of damage as, say, a T-37 or something that we've seen a lot of people use in those actual fights in the south. However,
Urtai moving in, a beautiful pickup from the back. I was just going to watch that and say, oh, let's see if he can do anything, and he does. He picks up another tank, falling down for Lamb, now trying to find some cover and fight Breast Cancer in some trouble himself. If Urtai can get another shot, he will go down. He has one more shot. Let's see if he can find cover in time. No! Urtai picking up 5 Breast Cancer, and now just 3 members remain for the side of Lamp against the 5 of Team Rival. The health, Super Destructor though, finding Valkyrie, trying to do their best to claw their way back. Aggressor taking some more damage from the front and from the back. Super though, looks like he's going to be the focus, taking 418 points of damage. He has used his entire clip in that autoloader. Now on the reload as World War II Fnatic gets another member. Smiley Rage going down. Anubis pushing in, trying to just finish this fight off as we now have only a minute and 2 seconds in this battle. Urtai picking up Aggressor, and Anubis coming around the side to finish off the last remaining member of Lamp. Looks like Rival doing a great job picking up a victory, tying it up now 1-1 against Lamp here over on Ruinberg. Now, they were kind of talking about that stall out game that happened. Well, was it just that Lamp had to push more forcefully? They need to go quicker, or it just was that when they moved, I believe, Super Tyrannosaur up there? Or?
That's part of why I don't like the one cap, the northern cap. It's susceptible to pretty much what Rival did there. Rival could have done it better, sure.
Okay.
Anybody can always do it better. But you run in there, you don't have anybody to directly fight, so you don't get those early tank pickups that you want.
Gotcha.
And then while you're trying to cap, you're constantly being reset, and the entire move in the north just kind of peters out. There's no real point to it. You can't cross the field. You can't engage Delta. You can't do anything aside from trying to accumulate cap pressure and kill anybody who comes back. So a little artillery like the FE304 just shuts that down completely. As soon as they saw that, probably need to go south cap.
Okay.
And that's really the only strategic commentary I have on the whole thing. One thing that seems to be coming clear, this could be a very long set.
All right. Well, everyone grab some popcorn, snuggle up with a Snuggie and a buddy, a battle buddy, so you can enjoy this possibly long set coming up. One thing I do want to point out, though, is bringing that artillery. If you do decide to switch to the other cap, why is that not as effective than against the northern one?
So the southern cap has buildings in the way of the best places to put the FE304. Yeah. So if you were to put the FE304 in places where it could easily reset cap, and I'm talking the whole cap, not little slivers where it's shooting through
got a
or
range of it
slightly
all.
over buildings, then the Tier 6 Scout from the other team can easily find him and kill him.
Gotcha.
Most of the time. Now, I'm not super familiar with the arc in this instance.
Okay.
So there may be little places you can go, ways of angling your tank to get a little bit more elevation out of it, things along those lines. But it's not as reliable as just having a tank, because you can reset just fine from Delta Village. So you want that extra damage per minute
Gotcha.
out of a better tank, like a tier 6 or something. But we've seen a lot of teams actually running 2 tier 7s, like LTTBs, or unfortunately the no longer included Alf Klarungspanther. Man, I can never say that one correctly. It's one of the
America.
letters. One of the specific letters. Yeah, seriously. Which actually, and maybe this isn't time to talk about it because Refuse isn't playing. I went back and looked at why they brought it. And why they brought it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the same as an LTTB in a lot of ways, but it has higher DPM. It can mount a vertical stabilizer, so it aims faster and thus shoots faster.
Okay.
And it also has greater depression. So
Wow.
if you had that, if you say you had like 2 of those in a T54 lightweight against 3 T54 lightweights, that group would actually win for 2 less points.
All right, well, but let's get into the battle we have at hand. Lamp versus Rival, ladies and gentlemen. Into our third battle, we have switched sides. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Lamp with 2 5100s, 3 IS3s, a KV5 again, and a T37.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Rival with a 5100, an IS3, a 1390, 3 T54 lightweights, and an MT25. So we'll see if Rival can fare any better on offense than Lamp did, as they'll need both of those wins to create a lead. If they do just as well as Lamp, it'll be a tie, quite obviously, as the score is 1-1.
Now, looks like Rival doing what you've actually always suggested, which is go over to that southeastern cap there. That base 2 number cap, as we have the numbers now on there. Now, looking at the setups for, like you said, 1-1. Going though into our the third battle where you have switched sides, who does this favor more, offense or defense? Which team's position would you rather be in?
I would rather be on defense in general.
Okay.
Just because there's a few slight advantages there. On this map in particular, it's easier to be on defense than offense by a much smaller margin than it is on other maps. However, being on offense in the southern side is not a bad situation at all. And right now, if I had to choose a team, I'd much rather be in Rival's position.
Okay.
As the Lamp is significantly far away from that cap, and they have already surrendered a number of positions in the village that they need.
Yeah.
And if Rival checks that, which is not particularly difficult, a couple proximity lights, so if they get within 50 meters of anybody, it automatically spots them.
Right.
And a couple different angles, and they can easily take over the entire village. Perhaps pick up Smiley Rage, who's moving up right now and should be taking more damage than he is, which is none.
Wow. Yeah. Also talking
Free
about
move.
like you're saying, one of those things where teams just might not just be proactive enough to get those spots, those crucial information that they do need to really capitalize on what they had. Like you were saying, Lamp not in Delta Village at all, which is one of the crucial things you need if you're going to try to defend this cap successfully. Now, Baby Halo.
Sorry, it's one of the weird things about when you don't see any tanks at all, is you're always second-guessing yourself.
Gotcha.
And it takes a lot of map preparation and knowledge just to know beyond a shadow of a doubt there's no way they could set a trap as long as I check this, this, and this. So until you hit that level of just mastery of an area like Delta Village, which is so complicated that very few people ever achieve it, it's easy to get scared when you don't see people.
Sure. And you kind of start psyching yourself out. One thing I maybe just point out, could you explain what does it take to master something like as complicated of a setup as Delta Village? Like, is it just tons of practice? Is it specific practice? Is it research?
It's a lot of everything. Many of the people who I've seen who really play it well have been playing it for years. I mean, in Clan Wars, where it was everything that mattered, if you didn't know all those angles, and with 15 tanks, it's actually a lot easier. 15 on each side, it's a lot easier to see all those angles because you have one.
Oh, sure.
So that is fighting on this map in Clan Wars is actually probably one of the better ways to train those angles specifically. And then you want to play it 77. But I don't think anybody ever really masters it perfectly. Aggressor taking a bunch of damage here.
Whoa.
Rival's starting to look a lot better.
Absolutely, as Lamp pushing in, Aggressor needs to find a way to get out of there. 2 more shots. He takes a lot of damage there. Now dropping down to below half health, but here comes the response. Baby Halo taking some shots on Valkyrie as well as Starshield, getting a good chunk, dropping him below 50% as well. And now the control of Delta Village going to Lamp. Aggressor, though, 1 more shot in that I3. He will go down. Let's see who's going to get the first battle of the night. It is going to be Fight Breast Cancer taking Valkyrie. the night of this battle. World War II Fnatic, though, taking a lot of damage himself. 562 and T54 pushing against Starshield. Jojo Jackie, though, turning his turrets against HK, who's somehow gotten behind, going through the village, going through the city against Lamp. And now Jojo Jackie looks like he's being surrounded. Has to find some help from Baby Halo, pushing back in that IS-3. They need to take down World War II Fnatic, but HK gonna pick up Jojo Jackie. A beautiful pick up there. Baby Halo gonna respond, taking down World War II Fnatic. Now 5-on-6 in favor of Lamp going in here. The time now down to 2 minutes and 56 seconds. And it looks like we have an entire retreat coming up for Rival as they decided to go ahead and looks like it put 2 members to the cap in the north. David, looking at this move going on, who's in that better position? Is it going to take Lamp a while to get there because they're putting cap pressure now down to 30 seconds?
Lamp can get there in time. It's a very good chance they will lose. Poor Super Destructo Tyrannosaur in the process, as there's going to be a lot of autoloaders in that corner, and they're just waiting for him to show up and try and get a reset, and they will annihilate him. But I think Lamp is in the overall position. If they continue moving, they should be fine.
See, as you said, Super Destructor popping out, taking a lot of damage, getting dropped immediately, and they did not get the reset. 9 seconds now, it's up to Baby Halo. He does get the shot onto Anubis, which has reset the cap just for a moment, and he has taken a lot of damage himself. Anubis pushing up at that 5100, trying to take shots on Baby Halo as well. Another nice reset going down there, but the cap pressure keeps building as Anubis takes down Baby Halo. Down to 6 seconds. Starshield, Smiley, and Aggressor pushing in. They need to find shots, and they need to find them quickly. Fight Breast Cancer doing his best, but the cap running down, now down to 0 seconds, no shot coming out. Looks like Team Rival has successfully capped the base against Lamp. Another victory for Rival there, making it 2-1. That was really fun to watch. I mean, watching how they were going for that southeastern cap, it wasn't working for them, and they already put that member on north, and they're like, all right, let's just go for it. That worked out really well.
Yeah, right. Actually, literally right after I said that I would rather be in Lamp's position,
Yeah.
I looked at it. I was like, oh wait, hold on. They're way more spread out than I would have thought they're in than in this situation.
Okay.
Rival is looking a lot better. It seems like they chased too many people in the south, and like we pointed out, Super Destructor Tyrannosaur needed to get that reset.
Yeah.
Or it was all just going to start falling apart. And he needed to get it while getting enough damage so that his death wasn't going to cost them overall. Baby Halo coming in the clutch and resetting it, but a number of other people either being too far out or just not hitting the shots they needed to. And Rival just had a better response in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, the cap was going for about 30 seconds, and it seemed that we didn't see until just the end those 2 final members of Lamp even making it close to getting in that range for shooting. So if you were on Lamp's side, how quickly do you realize, oh, Northern Cap's going, let's stop chasing? And who makes that call? Is it the shot caller?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some people may point out that the cap is being done, but how you respond is either something that's like preordained, pre-discussed. Well, it should be no matter what, but certainly there's usually somebody who makes the call to do what you've already planned. The thing with Lamp there was they were chasing things so much as just having a structured defense to fall back on. And in Ruinberg, if you don't know exactly how to handle everything before it happens, you're going to dance to Attack's song, and you're going to pay for it in the long run there. Like we've discussed before, it's very easy for small mistakes on Ruinberg to add up, and while Ruinberg is in the favor of defense, it's only by a very slight margin.
Sure.
And in that instance, not sending enough tanks 0 line. So you probably want to send 1, maybe 2 directly to that corner to guarantee you get resets, and the rest need to be spread out along a 0 line to get shots in without taking damage in return, so you can delay it a little bit longer. But to discuss that more accurately, we'd have to get into a map, show where all the different tanks go, how the timing works. It's not an easy thing, and it's certainly not embarrassing for Lamp to have failed it, especially given all the different changes they've had in their team this season.
Absolutely. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen, as we into our next battle, if Lamp can hold on and tie it up 2-2 before the map is over, or if Rival can get a nice 3-1 lead. Let's get right into the battle and take a look at what we got for our tanks.
For Lamp, we have 2 5100s, a KV5. They really like that thing. A T32, 2 T54 lightweights, and a T37. Team Rival with 2 5100s, 2 IS3s, 2 T54 lightweights, and an MT25. Strangest tank in this whole fight is again the KV5.
Okay, now
a lot of hit points, good DPM, kind of a weak penetrating gun, but he can easily, with well-placed shots, he can do quite a bit. Actually, last match, Starshield did the most damage in the entire match, I believe. Getting close to about 2,200. Not a whole lot of other stats worth looking at, that's why we didn't go into that instance. But Rival again going into the Southern Cap. Lamp having a much better opening to handle that this time. Jojo Jackie staying back to make sure they're not going north, and they aren't. Aggressor coming down the 0 line, a much more traditional, modern, classic, you may call it, way that we've seen things being done. Smiley and Aggressor together. Airtie coming in to check that out a little bit. The rest of Rival taking quite a bit to get into these positions.
The Aggressor, now the shot's already going out. Smiley Rage taking a little bit of damage himself. More going over to the side of Lamp than to Rival. Actually, none going into Rival there, so all going into this Lamp. And we kind of talked about the positioning of those two teams for lightweights. Smiley and Aggressor being, you know, they're the nuisance, so you can't just ignore them when they be able to pop out and take the shots. So again, explain, if Rival is in the situation where you have those two tanks going through, what is the best plan that they have
To stop them going down the 0 line you're discussing, right?
Right.
There's no real way of stopping them without just putting a whole lot of tanks in there, but you're going to pay for that too much. Really what you need to do is get them to poke like they're doing right now and hit them every time they do from different positions, roughly like F7, F8 or some places to do it.
Ooh.
This is a very, to defend or to assault this area, actually, and coming out just to force this head-to-head right now.
Yeah, they're just pushing right in as they send all the tanks. Starshield was getting low. Let's see if these three other members can find Hole and Valkyrie and how Team Rival can do to stop it. 5 breast cancer, though, taking a shot, he can drop below half, hasn't unloaded a single clip from his AMX 5100. There he goes, the damage. Anubis and Django coming around the corner. Hall taking a lot of damage there in that IS-3. More crossfire coming in all over the place. 5 breast cancer getting low as well. Let's see who's going to go down first in this skirmish. It's going to be Hall finding breast cancer in that 5100. And now Team Rival continuing to push out. Anubis, though, getting dropped very, very low there. Aggressor taking some shots over. Nothing connecting. And Smiley Rage still sitting back in that 0 line. I'd assume that he started coming and helping out his team as World War II Fnatic finding Super Destructive Tyrannosaur. Aggressor taking down Anubis. And now over on the corner, World War II Fnatic gonna find Starshield as well. Aggressor also gonna find Urtai. These back and forth kills. HK gonna take down Jojo Jackie up in the north. And now Valkyrie surrounding Baby Halo along with Hall and the Django. But Baby Halo gonna pick up Hall before he goes down. Let's see if he can do any more damage before he gets taken down himself. The Django taking some more damage in response. Over on the side, we have Aggressor and Smiley. Let's see how much they can do from that 0 line corner in that J0 position as Valkyrie finishes up Baby Halo. Now 4-2 in favor of Team Rival. Some more shots going out from Smiley, but nothing connecting. David, what just happened right there?
Lamp looked like they had some kind of overmatch they were going for. I saw 2 IS-3s sitting in F6 a little bit before that perhaps you could have put 5100s on and taken down. That wouldn't have been a bad decision, but the rest of the positions that Rival had were prepared to handle that. A lot of the push from Lamp kind of ran out of steam there, and they just gave it to Rival.
Yeah, and there we go. World War II Fnatic in Deltaville is now setting up. Putting cap pressure is HK over in that northern cap. A brilliant thing to do. Why chase the 2 remaining members when you have to make them come to you if they want to do anything? But it's looking amazing for Rival. Surely they will pick up this one as well. World War II Fnatic doing a great job just sitting there. 6 shots ready and waiting for Smiley Rage and Aggressor whenever they decide to pop out, if they decide to pop out at all. Now, David, looking kind of the position that you're in, if you are a Lamp, do you think you're acknowledging that there's no way that you're going to win this?
I wouldn't say there's no way that you could win this. Right now, I'd probably be trying to run out the K line into the city and maybe pick up HK. And while you're never going to win, or very unlikely to win, an actual tank fight in this situation, especially with World War II Fanatics sitting at 100%, you can possibly grab HK before the cap gets, completes, and then run away, and that's burned over a minute at a time at that point. But now, with the moves that Rival are making, it's looking less and less possible. 2 caps on right now, forcing them to come out and deal with World War II Fnatic. I don't know exactly why they're putting the 5100 on there. I mean, aside from the fact that he has more hit points, but Smiley Rage definitely trying to get something done now, realizing he has no alternative. World War II Fnatic's actually in a forward bush that's not going to work out for Smiley here in a second, if they even see each other. There we go.
Crossfire coming out, focused onto World War II Fnatic. He's backing off, not taking any, but it's not going to matter because the cap down to 5 seconds. Smiley taking a good chunk of damage. Let's see if World War II Fnatic can pick it up. He does. More fantasy points in the bag there for my fantasy team. Thank you, World War II Fnatic. And Team Rival picking up another victory, making it now 3-2 4-1 against Lamp. I think one of the main reasons why I was asking that question at the end there, if you are Lamp, kind of going, all right, well, we might be just it's just going to be too hard for us to come back from this. In that moment, you have 5 of your team members dead. They get to sit, they get to watch. Are they discussing what they're going to be doing next? Are they watching that match and still trying to help their teammates? Is there a mix of both?
Depends on the team. Some teams use it as a time to discuss other things. Some teams just argue. Some teams say nothing.
Wow.
I don't know. I'd have to be in their team speak. I'd have to be in their voice comms to know specifically. But we finally have some things to discuss in statistics.
Hey, let's go to it.
So let's go. Baby Halo. T32. 12 shots, 10 hits, 9 penetrations. Doing quite well. Over 2,000 damage. But the rising star of this match on many people's fantasy teams, World War II Fanatic. 11 shots, 11 hits, 10 penetrations for just over 2,600 damage. That is quite a lot with 3 kills. Valkyrie Viewus right behind him. 7 shots, 6 hits, 6 pens. There you go. That's a match right there. Hull, nothing to scoff at either. About 1,700. And Anubis need to pen 2 more shots out of his 5,100. But I don't know what those shots were. Sure. Perhaps they were, perhaps they weren't great and they needed to go flying at the time. And that's just how it is. Sometimes it's always a judgment call. With a 54 lightweight, you can just throw the shot. Whatever.
Okay.
If you don't have a good target, and you just kind of it's like a 1% chance to fire. You're not gonna. It's not like you have anything to lose aside from your accuracy or something. But if you care that much about your statistics, you're going to end up.
Don't play this game.
You're going to end up being terrible in the long run. I know there were several people who I've met throughout who care about stuff like that. Like, well, my overall accuracy in League is over 80%. It's like, that's great. That sounds to me like you're not doing enough blind fire, not taking enough shots for some reason because you're too worried about your one statistic. Stats mean something.
Sure.
They certainly indicate whether you're capable of playing well, but there's so many intangibles that I don't rely on them completely.
That's great to hear. That takes a lot of stress off my shoulders because as I've been playing, I've been seeing my stats aren't that good. But as you're saying, that means I'm a great player. Thanks, David. Ladies and gentlemen, before David has anything to respond to that, we're into our next battle. Lamp versus Team Rival. Now, Rival up 3-1. Let's see if Lamp can do anything to claw the way back or if Rival will continue their victories. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we got for stats.
I'll let you have it. Lamp, 2 5100s, 4 IS3s, a T37. Team Rival with a 110, 2 5100s, 3 IS3s, and a 2801. Which, as we previously established on Himmelsdorf, is not a bad tank at all, especially when you're on defense. Those 5100s from your offense team, offending team, assaulting team. Yeah, I can't speak right now. Wherever they go, it's not going to be particularly hard for the 2801 to get around behind it and start lighting it up, and you can do quite a bit of damage. Perhaps different lines of thought, though. While you have that greater burst damage, so you can get that one shot in that does a lot of damage, you have a higher DPM on certain tanks and just more shot volume. So last time we were on Himmelsdorf, we were discussing how there are perks.
Oh, this will be interesting.
This will be interesting. But we have a moment where there are perks that increase your chance to do damage to modules, set things on fire, damage things, right? Well, yeah, that chance is magnified by the number of times that you fire, right? So if you can put 12 shots into somebody as opposed to 2, you have a higher chance of setting them on fire or whatever. So in a lot of instances, getting behind a 5100, it's not a particularly hard tank to light on fire or just kind of mess up. So that can be an advantage as opposed to 2801. Personal preference, 2801 probably the better choice because, hey, if you only need to shoot once to do 200 plus damage, why not?
Right. Now, looking at HK's position, I almost said VK's position because it's almost the same lettering. HK's position up here on top of the hill, doing a good job. You got, I think, a spot on Baby Halo. That's the only ones he spotted. But looking at the setup of what Lamp is doing, putting a lot of focus up over still kind of this G, the G0, G9 area. HK actually pushing up here. How's this going to go for him?
Well, he may take out Baby Halo before he goes down, but he will very likely go down. Oh, breast cancer and JoJo Jackie say hi.
Oh man, JoJo Jackie finishing off HK. A nice little double tap there. 5 breast cancer, and JoJo doing good teamwork, finding the first member of Rival who goes down on top of the hill. Now, David, why did he push up in that moment? I've actually never seen.
He gave it a lot of time, so he knew that Baby Halo was up there, or that it had been up there. He gave it a lot of time to make sure he wasn't in a trap, but he was, and he just went up, maybe seeing if he could get Baby Halo or get in behind people, because typically you see a T-37 up there, they'll come back down. They're just making sure that nothing is going on. They get a different angle, or
Sure.
perhaps he's just doing some scouting along the inner side of the ledge. But action already starting to kick off in the northern cap.
Damage there. Invade, Super Destructo. Going to be starting cap pressure, but taking some damage from, I believe, Valkyrie. Maybe it was Urtai there. Invade getting a lot of damage. Good focus fire coming up for Team Rival. And he has to back off, and then IS3 getting dropped way below half health. About a fourth of his health left. And now the response. Super Destructo taking some shots into Urtai. Also, it looks like Anubis taking some as well from the hill. Fight Breast Cancer going through. Baby Halo, I do want to point out, still on top of that hill. When do you would you recommend that he stays up there, or when do you think he's going to come down to join the rest of his team?
I think he is in a position where he can actually overlook the courtyard and make sure they're not being flanked.
Gotcha.
He is indeed. So he doesn't need to come down unless they want him to do damage, but there's just as good of a chance that he can do damage from up there if something tries to flank. But actually, Rival is running what I'll just call the Noble defense, something we've seen a number of times Noble has done. And Lamp doesn't really need to do anything else than this. Rival has to make the answer. Airtie going down, and Rival is now moving in to try and stop this cap.
Here they go. This is the answer they need. Let's see if they can do better than Lamp in this brawl coming up. IS3 Hall coming on the corner, taking a lot of damage in the focus. One more shot. He's going to go down. A lot of red lands. Focus in his direction. Fight Breast Cancer going to be able to pick that one up. And now it looks like the Django is going to be next. Invade still maintaining at that same health that we've seen him. Another shot, and the Django goes down. Lamp doing a great job picking up kill after kill. Valkyrie, Anubis, and World War II Fnatic, the only remaining members. Anubis going to try to find Super Destructo Tyrannosaur as Valkyrie takes down Invade himself, but it's still a 3-on-5, and now Lamp pushing in Baby Halo coming to join the fight. Looks like he's in that T-37 pushing it forward. Fight Breast Cancer moving in on Anubis. Valkyrie, one more shot. Aggressor should have it. Let's see who's going to take it. Smiley actually going to pick that one up, and now just Anubis remaining. Lamp. So they're going to get a second victory tonight, making the score 2-3. Baby Halo taking as many shots as he can, trying to rack up some points. World War II Fnatic now is the last member. Thought there was one, and now there is one. AMX5100. He does have all 6 shots, but I'm not sure there's much he can do unless each one of those shots can one-shot the 5 remaining members of Lamp. Jojo Jackie being the receiving end of all of World War II Fnatic's fury. 11 seconds now on the cap. They're just buckling up. Fight Breast Cancer coming around the corner. Let's see which 5100 is going to come out on top. Smiley actually going to take it away, and that's a victory for Lamp. And get now 2-3 coming out on this battle. And now, David, looking at from the beginning, I mean, obviously Lamp picked up that early kill onto HK, which kind of seemed to snowball the rest of it. What do you think would have been the quote-unquote, right? Obviously, there's no such thing as finality when I talk about what the right or wrong thing to do is. But going into, what would be a better response the Rival could have had there?
They just needed to have a response that wasn't just a kind of a knee-jerk reaction at the last minute. I think they expected Airtide to last longer than he did there. We've seen Canadian Impact do it, but whether it's Canadian Impact playing the tank better than Airtide, or the people shooting where that position is,
or
shooting people better than we've seen them attempt against Canadian Impact. Who knows? All I know is that's relying on one tank to stop a reset with no other real play coming out. So
just hoping.
I mean, the list of different ways to handle that is far too long.
Gotcha.
So I will simply summarize this to say having a strategy that goes beyond just camping it.
Now, again, talking about HK's position, before you kind of got into why he would have done that, he got exploded. But looking at that, so you said he gave it some time. He saw that maybe nothing was there. What was he hoping to accomplish on top of that hill there?
Baby Halo was
just 1v1ing Baby Halo.
Oh yeah, that's it. He's just trying to pick up Baby Halo. That's
Gotcha.
my guess. And then he gets vision from up there. Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough time to go to stats this game. But we will come back to this game's stat screen after the next one, because it's certainly worth looking at. I'll summarize by saying World War II Fnatic did almost 3,000 damage.
That is something to watch.
And the rest of, and then Lamp was much more spread throughout, which is pretty indicative of a strategy gone right.
That's true. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's see if their strategy can continue to go right as we're into our next battle. Lamp versus Rival. We are still on the same sides. One more time for Rival to defend, one more time for Lamp to attack. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we got for tanks.
For Lamp, we have two 5100s, 4 IS-3s, a T-37. For
Whoa.
Team Rival, we have two 5100s, 4 IS-3s, and a VK-2801.
Now, looking at these, the 4 IS-3s on each side, when you bring a tank with a lot of heavy armor, slower tanks, do you think that typically, or maybe it doesn't at all, but typically it helps defense or offense? Because being slower, I would assume that you have a better advantage being on the defensive side, going against so many heavy tanks.
Yeah, it really just depends on the situation. It's hard to give blanket assessments to those kind of things. I typically prefer to be fast on both sides, but on defense, especially on this map, it can certainly be advantageous to take the other attributes of a tank. I don't think anybody just deliberately wants to be slow, but
Right, sure.
the other things that make that worth it are what you were bringing forward in this instance. Interesting stuff going on here by Lamp.
Yeah, and also Rival doing a lot different strategy than we've seen, now focusing on all of their tanks really on the western cap, only keeping Valkyrie up on the north there. The Django has been spotted, I'm assuming, by Baby Halo, which is a nice little bit of information there. Coming out onto the side of Lamp. And now HK did a nice little spotting run going all the way down to, it looks like it was about J3 or 4, and now coming back, didn't see a single person. And because of that, it looks as if Rival is thinking that Lamp is going to go to the north, which I would assume is a correct assessment from that lack of information that HK found down there.
While we've got a moment, I'm going to take advantage of some of this new fancy stuff we got going on here and take out the different consumables and equipment that people are running.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's different schools of thought on everything. What Invade is running is pretty classic: Vert Stabilizer, a Rammer, and Vents, which is pretty much maximized reload, right? Smiley Rage, same thing. Super Destructor Tyrannosaur, same thing. Then you get to Aggressor. He's running a wet ammo rack on his IS-3. I don't know if that's as important now as it used to be. I believe the IS-3 can no longer be one-shot by other IS-3s.
Oh.
There used to be a period of time where if you detonated the ammo rack and got the right roll, or got the right roll to detonate the ammo, you could one-shot an IS-3 by shooting inside the turret. I don't think that's the case anymore. Meanwhile, Jojo Jackie and Fight Breast Cancer both running wrist stab, a gun-laying drive, and optics for a little bit of extra view range over Vents, which I agree with. Vents can be negated by using coffee, but it doesn't look like either of them are doing that, instead preferring to run med kit, repair kit, and fire extinguisher. Yep.
While we were away, HK taking one shot, getting dropped to about a third of his remaining health. Not the best thing would happen, but he is a scout, so hopefully he did what he had to get done. The information has been out. Team Rival saw a lot of those members of Lamp down south, and now Lamp focusing on the western cap, and Team Rival was set up for this. Now they've kind of backed off. Looking at the positions that they were in compared to now, is Rival set up a little better to defend this, or does Lamp have the kind of the upper?
Rival can defend this relatively easily. They're a bit open, maybe on the 3 line, but other than that, they've got a pretty good defensive formation that can stop this. I'd rather be Rival than that in this instance.
Okay.
Sure.
Aggressor takes a little bit of damage in that IS-3, pushing up. No members on the hill this time. Every single member from Lamp all focusing to go onto this western cap. David, what's the trick, right? What's the quote-unquote trick of this western cap? Because it does seem very open on the side. Is it where Baby Halo's trying to get to right now, behind that one singular building in the middle?
Yes, exactly. We can get that on screen for you right there. Behind this building, you can build up some cap points. It's not particularly easy to set, to shoot. Then you force the defense to come to you, but really depends. There's a lot of different ways of handling that. Theoretically, right. Let me double check this. I believe maybe the elevations aren't correct anymore. For some reason, I have it in my head, and I would really have to go back and do the research. I believe you can shoot behind this from the hill. You may have to splash it with an HE, and I'm not sure. Perhaps the 2801 could do it effectively. Actually, the 2801, the heat round arcs down a little bit. So you could probably do it. Something you need to practice. Just keep that in mind, teams, because this right here should not be what stops you from defending Himmelsdorf. There's too many different ways to handle it, and if you're trying to handle it directly, you're doing it wrong. Because anytime a team tries to get you to do something, if you do it, you're just doing what they want.
Sure.
So think of any other way.
Don't.
Yeah, think of any other way. Anything you can find that works without doing what they expect you to do, is a better answer than the offense.
Well, looks like this is the answer that Team Rival has, sending two AMX 5100s over the courtyard, taking a lot of damage, taking some beautiful shots onto Invade, and Baby Halo getting dropped extremely low himself. Anubis gonna find Invade, the first tank going down now of this battle. Baby Halo also extremely low. And now two 5100s come around. They're going to encounter Smiley Rage in that IS-3. Jojo Jackie, though, fighting HK down the back as the other members of LAMP, Jojo Jackie and Super Destructo Tyrannosaur. I like how the two new added members are battle buddies in this match, running up to help Smiley take care of these two 5100s. Anubis, one more shot, he will go down. World War II Fnatic trying to get out of there. Baby Halo still trying to apply some cap pressure, but if World War II Fnatic gets a single look at him, he will go down, no doubt. Hall taking a little bit of damage from Baby Halo in that IS-3, pushing up. Baby Halo doing a lot of damage, actually picking away at him very reliably. And now, in the side, Rule of 2 Fnatic and Jojo Jackie going at it. One more shot. It looks like Hall might go down. Baby Halo might pick up this IS-3. Looks like he just missed that one shot. He continues to let his shots fly through that rubble there. Aggressor taking damage, but gonna respond by taking down World War II Fnatic. It is now a 5-on-6 in favor of LAMP. The Django pushing up in his IS-3, getting a nice bounce shot there from Super Destructo Tyrannosaur. Anubis, one more shot in that 5100. It looks like his turrets are turned to try to take on the Baby Halo, but Hall gonna be the one to take it down. Now he's turning his turrets to find either Fight Breast Cancer or Super, but Smiley coming in through the courtyard in that IS-3. He can do a lot of damage here. Jojo Jackie also on the reload, so it's up to Smiley and Super to take the shots out right now. Anubis going to be the focus of that, getting dropped to below half health, and a lot of back and forth, but the time continues to clock down. LAMP needs to hurry up and do something, finding the kills, because it is now just 36 seconds while Urtai finds Aggressor. This is not looking good for LAMP in the situation. Fight Breast Cancer, though, fighting for Anubis, finding it. And now Valkyrie going to be the next one to go down. Hall and the Django Valkyrie all very, very low. Super coming around the corner. Looks like Jojo Jackie's going to find Valkyrie. Urtai might just need to run to try to save this game while 16 seconds remain. Jojo Jackie looks like he's going to try to make sure that doesn't happen. Super is going for Hall. Smiley going to find the Django. Now 10 seconds. Urtai and Hall, all they need to do is survive for just a few more seconds. Let's see if Jojo Jackie can find the last remaining winner. It is now down to 2 seconds. He's going to need to come around the corner and take the shot. He needs to find it. No, Urtai's going to pick it up. And now the successful defense going out for Rival. A good amount of time killed for them. A good pickup, making it now 4-2 against LAMP there. David.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just it's painful. It's painful. I hate it. I hate it when it gets so close and a team doesn't seal it up when they've had a better battle. Not because I don't like watching it, because endings like that are amazing.
Oh, it's fun.
I hate it because I feel it. It happened to me so many times.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. So many times where should have won a whole set, and then it just gets blown by 2 or 3 seconds of time mismanagement or whatever happens. There's 100 reasons.
Feels bad.
But we can go to stats this time.
Let's do it.
And perhaps we can actually go to both. But honestly, this last games are much more interesting to look at. Super Destructor Tyrannosaur, nearly 2,500 damage in an IS-3. Smiley Rage, 22. Fight Breast Cancer, over 2,000, just by a little bit. Invade getting wrecked, 0 damage. And Airtie, Anubis, Hull, Django, none of them breaking 2,000, but not doing particularly poorly or anything.
Yeah.
World War II Fnatic not hitting his shots. Looks like he got kind of annihilated. They originally pushed across and they took out Invade there pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then while the rest of their team was moving up to support them, they couldn't really get to it or get away fast enough. Here is the other match.
Match of stats. Yep.
Here's the other match. So, World War II Fnatic, 10 shots, 10 hits, 10 penetrations for almost 2,900 damage.
Wow.
Anubis, yeah, that certainly makes up for him not hitting some
Yeah.
of those shots this
Yeah.
game. 6, and 5, another great set there. Jojo Jackie hitting 6 for 8. Probably some of those were sent along the way. 6 for 8. Ironically, same thing coming out for Fight Breast Cancer. But this being the team that won, much more spread out of LAMP, and then Rival
Right.
not
A lot of
shooting so
focus.
hot. But this time around, not really spread. They just have 3 guys that did over 2,000.
That's a lot, right?
And that'll do it just the same. No big deal there, right?
Yeah. One thing I just want to point out also, we got a call that Rival has taken a timeout. Now, this is something we actually usually hear when teams are behind. Rival, though, is up. They've seen 1 more victory. It's just kind of like their final, like, all right, could this also be head games, right? You're like, you only need 1 more.
It's probably just taking the time, assuming they're not just like taking the trash.
Another
or something
bathroom
like that.
break.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
Realistically, knowing Rival, what they're probably doing here is they're probably sitting down discussing exactly how they want to assault this time. Because notice, they took this time out on their first assault on Himmelsdorf. They were just defending.
Right.
Now they're on offense. So a little bit of time to go into whatever you draw strategies in, discuss things, make sure everybody understands it so you can clinch this victory as they're only one game away. Seems like a pretty much perfect use of a timeout to me.
All right.
So I'm pretty confident in saying that that's what they're doing with it.
All right, well, let's see if that is indeed what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, as we're into our next battle, Lamp versus Rival. Like David said, Rival just need one more victory to close this out. Let's see if Lamp can claw the way back. Getting right into the game, let's take a look at what we got for tanks.
For Lamp, a 110, 250, 100s, 3 IS-3s, and the FE304, you know its name. It's probably in chat. Rival, 250, 100s, 4 IS-3s, VK2801. So they assault pretty much the same way they defend in terms of lineups. And we'll see which direction they go with it.
All right, now also looking through the way here, Rival going up the hill, pushing a lot of those things up, those IS-3s and those 5100s. This is a very heavy push up on top of the hill. Usually you see these tanks kind of going the 7-8 line. What, are they just going to try to barrel over the top and catch Lamp by surprise?
Yep, and that stands a very good chance of winning with how Lamp is spread apart. So before all that kicks off, to kind of touch on something we were talking about last time, you can just take a quick look at the differences between, say, Anubis and his equipment over here is pretty standard. Perhaps you could throw in a gun-laying drive as opposed to vents or optics, whatever. It depends on what you're going for. Some people prefer this setup thinking the accuracy is good enough. I always kind of went for a gun-laying drive and optics and dropped the vents, then ran coffee instead of this stuff, ditching probably the med kit. But to each their own. And meanwhile, over on Lamp, they're actually running just a straight-up aim setup, so vert stab and a gun-laying drive with a little bit of vision from optics. This is much more what I would run, what Jojo Jackie is running here, except I would ditch either the fire extinguisher or the med kit for coffee, personally. But maybe they know better than I do at this point. It's been a little bit since I've gotten that detailed. I mean, I could tell you about strategy and all that stuff, but all the nitty-gritty of what consumables to use and what exactly those numbers are, that's something you pretty much have to actively be playing and practicing to know. And it also depends on your strategy. In some instances, I would totally swap out something to get a little bit more view range. Or if I expected to have something coming behind me and fire a lot when I was 5100, perhaps I'd bring a fire extinguisher in that instance. But generally, I was more willing to get rid of the med kit because these tanks have something called Jack of all trades. We'll get back to that. Smiley Rage getting lit up from the hill, and Lamp has to know where Rival is now.
Absolutely, a lot of damage, like you said, going into that 110, playing by Smiley Rage and Aggressor Invade, like you're saying, going up, knowing where where Rival has to be, letting some shots fly. HK taking a little bit of damage over here. Looks like fighting against Jojo Jackie. He is now on the run, and that VK2801, some shots just missing him, which would have been devastating. Another shot. He's just pulling the Matrix here, running through at full speeds. The IS-3s, looks like they don't have quick enough fire to take him. His goal is to head up on top of the hill and get with the rest of his team. And now, looking at this, right, Lamp now knowing that Rival is all the way up there, Jojo Jackie is doing a good pushing on the way in. Do you think he's going to try to continue on this flank? Because Rival has decided to now enact their strategy and just start pushing the 6 members down the hill as Aggressor and Invade try to come up and stop it.
Jojo Jackie, yeah, they're all coming up now. They know exactly where Rival's going. It's being broadcast pretty hard. Rival needs to just handle it and push all the way through to get Baby Halo, or it is over for them. But if they do that, and then they can turn it around and hold, they are looking pretty to win, taking a very reasonable amount of damage for what they're about to get. Valkyrie V-West getting shot twice, not 3 times, Django getting shot once. And it's going to come down to whether Rival can stop this middle push from the 5 after they take out Baby Halo. But they got to get Baby Halo faster, and Anubis is already taking fire going down.
That's right, 554. There he goes, Super Destructo finding Anubis, and now 1-for-1 exchange. Hopefully Team Rival got it quicker than they would have expected, as now Lamp is pushing in on their position. All members of Rival, except for HK and Urtai, now stuck in this little position. Smiley, though, popping out, taking 337 points of damage in that 110. One more shot. He will go down the Django, pushing out. Looks like he was trying to get that Super Destructo Aggressor, trying to defend their friend there. And over on the side, Invade and Urtai and IS-3s. Let's see if the battle there can ensue and who will come out on top, as Jojo Jackie is on the reload. Gonna try to
right
take it.
now, it's Lamp has much better position. Rival trading a 5100 for an IS-3 is not at all what you want. Plus, they're well, actually they have a little bit of a lead on hit points.
Oh, good thing Jojo Jackie did not have any ammo. As HK just popped out, one more shot away, taking a shot, nothing hitting. But also forgetting about 5 breast cancer there in that FV304. You know, that artillery can really come into play as HK is one more shot.
He may hit HK short.
Oh man, there it is.
We got a bigger fight going out 5.
Absolutely, Hall taking a lot of damage, over 1,200 points of it. One more shot, or a couple more shots, he'll get him, but Smiley is in a lot of danger himself. Let's see if the focus fire can come out on the side of Team Rival. Jojo Jackie gonna find HK, Smiley finding Hull, but Hull gonna find Super Destructo, Aggressor finding Valkyrie, and Lamp doing a great job coming out on this one. World War II Fnatic, though, has a lot of those shots left in that AMX 100, and the Django gonna pick up Smiley as well. Now a 2-on-3, and one of the members for Lamp is that FV304. Let's see if the Django and World War II Fnatic can put the hurt onto Jojo Jackie, who is on the run. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and ignore the cap. They need to find this tank before he has his shots. I mean, how crucial is that to take down Jojo Jackie right now?
It's pretty important. I mean, anytime you have a 5100 running around, you want him dead.
Sure.
And especially when he's at 87, because otherwise it doesn't matter whether he's at 1 hit point or full hit points. If he gets behind you and you don't shoot him immediately, that's 6 shots of pain that will turn the tides of this battle really quickly. But he is the linchpin in this overall thing. For the Django and Fnatic to kill Invade is easy.
Okay.
In a one-on-one, no problem. Getting Jojo Jackie is hands down the most important part, as he is the only guy who can really bring this entire fight back. World War II Fnatic coming in, going to clean up Invade along with the Django, but the Django may take a little bit too much damage in doing so. 5 breast cancer hitting in the FV304 with a very huge shot.
Yeah, nice shot coming in. Looks like over on the side, Jojo Jackie trying to get some shots into Rival himself, missing both of them. And now World War II Fnatic, their focus is going to be on Invade. The question is, how much damage can Invade do? Let's see if he can take down the Django before he goes down himself. No, he gets extremely close though, the Django. One more shot, and he will go down. World War II Fnatic also having 1 shot. Now, if you were in World War II Fnatic second position, would you reload right now, as the time for the entire battle is down to 34
He cannot
seconds?
reload in the amount of time unless he was running maybe the 90 mil on this thing. He needs to go chase down 5 breast cancer, hopefully kill him in 1 shot. If he doesn't, all he can do is ram it, and then the Django's got to go find Jojo Jackie. But it's not going to happen. Jackie running very intelligently. There it goes. Nope.
5 breast cancer not getting, or World War II Fnatic not getting the shot that they need. Now down to 12 seconds. If Team Rival cannot finish off these 2 remaining members, then they will not win. But like you said, World II Fnatic, I don't know if he can get over there in time. 4 more seconds. He needs to ram it. The Django also looking for the kill. But over on the side, Jojo Jackie is still alive. 0 seconds. Lamp successfully defending. Ooh. And a good pickup, making it now 3-4. In this our first match of the night, which is, I mean, a lot of fun things we've been watching here. Looking at the side, I mean, that very decisive opening push from Rival there, putting all those heavy tanks up on top. You said, I kind of pointing out, let's go over where it went wrong for them, as they went over to find Baby Halo, but took it was an AMX 5100 in return. You said it just wasn't the best of exchanges.
Yeah, they took a lot of damage crossing, and then what they picked up with an IS-3 and what they lost for it was a 5100 and then some damage. So,
gotcha.
General rough situation, as everybody would expect from statistics. Let's go to him. Let's go to him anyways.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's surprising, but I hear you people love it. So at least some of the most vocal of you do. Jojo Jackie, 14 shots, 11 hits, 9 penetrations.
Okay.
About 2,300 damage. World War II Fnatic, 11 hits, 11 shots, 11 hits, 10 penetrations. So shooting better. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. Shooting better, getting a little bit more damage, and 3 kills overall. Valkyrie Vewas and everybody else doing fairly okay. 5 breast cancer, 1 hit, 1 penetration, which we saw for quite a bit of damage. About 470. I mean,
onto the Django, a really good pickup there.
That 1 shot was pretty huge. Although he picking up HK in the 2801 would have been a nice little addendum as well.
That'd be sweet. I thought it was going to happen. He took the shot. Got really close.
Yeah, just overall, Rival had it.
Yeah.
Time ran out. Nothing else to say about it. What you saw, what you see is what you get out of that one. There's not a whole lot of rocket science, not a lot of nuance. Rival made it pretty simple. They rushed for it.
Yeah.
Didn't get it done. Time expired.
Let's see if they can do it again. Again, just needing one more victory as we into our next battle, ladies and gentlemen. Lamp versus Rival. Still, Lamp going to be on the defense, Rival on the offense. Let's see if they can pull it out or if Lamp can tie it up. Let's get right into the match and take a look at what do we got for tanks.
Lamp with a 110, 2 5100s, 3 IS3s, and the FV304 BERT. Rival with 2 5100s, 4 IS3s, and the VK 2801. Smiley Rage. I'm now in the habit of looking immediately at this equipment and stuff. Smiley Rage with a Vert, Stab, Rammer, and Optics, which gives him a pretty nasty view range with that 110. And then he's also running food, Chinese version of rations in there. And that's a pretty good setup. Pretty much what I would run. Would love just to spend a ton of time
just going over it
that all the time. But
I do want to talk about the
to.
idea of why you would take a fire extinguisher, because not so often we don't see, and we've seen it, maybe it happens every couple times in some of the 4 matches happening when people get set on fire. Do you take that fire extinguisher just in that off chance, or that chance that it does happen, it doesn't absolutely destroy you?
Yeah, and the automatic one, the highest level one,
yeah,
also reduces the chance of getting set on fire by 10%. So
that makes sense.
I mean, aside from a fuel tank detonation, which when that happens is a guaranteed fire, there's a chance of your engine setting on fire every time it gets shot.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes I don't run them, depending on the tank, because you run the math, and it's like a 2 or 3% chance. Whatever, not a big deal. And I'd rather have, say, a med kit or something. So as we were discussing with the 5100, a lot of the time I didn't bring a med kit and instead used rations or coffee in that instance, because you will get set on fire in a 5100. The chances are fairly high, and it's a very big deal when you are, as opposed to other situations where it's not as big of a deal, although a lot of teams just like to negate that chance because it's a big problem, right? But you do have something called a Jack of all trades, which allows your crew to kind of cover for somebody who is dead. And with the 5100, I felt that was enough in case my gunner got shot, which is pretty much the only thing. And the only other real problem you have from that, maybe a driver gets shot.
Okay.
The only real problem you have from that is in a 5100, since it's an autoloader, anytime one of your crew members dies, it significantly increases your overall reload. But I was more focused on making sure that I got my 6 out accurately with spending as little time exposed as possible. But VK21 HK got shot and is on fire.
Oh, wow.
As we were just discussing, doesn't have a fire extinguisher. I don't blame him, though. The tank he's playing, what you want is a repair kit, because honestly, you're not going to survive getting shot more than once or twice, maybe 3 times anyways,
okay,
unless you're in a light fight. So whatever, you go for speed, you go for the repair kit. It's exactly what he's doing. I agree with it 100%. You just pray you don't get set on fire. But sometimes
the Negatron curse is just too strong. Now,
I didn't call that one.
I'm sorry, I did. Rival now pushing across the courtyard and not going again for that 7-8 push we usually see when going for the north, but maybe focusing. I mean, they're very spread out here over the courtyard. Something almost like a little box formation there. And another thing, Super Destructo. Looks like he can be able to get on top of this hill with no problems at all in that 5100. How huge is that going to be for Lamp to have that that light tank with that autoloader just shooting down onto where the positioning of Rival is right now?
Right now, it's only going to be a real problem with Django, who is pretty much caught in the middle of the courtyard. Taking shots from Aggressor, Invade, Baby Halo, and Smiley Rage.
Beautiful focus fire there. He gets tracked. He has to use repair, trying to get behind the fountain, but no, Jojo Jackie gonna pick it up in that 5100. A beautiful pickup there on the side of Lamp. A tank going down, and now Team Rival in a little bit of a trouble as, again, HK in that VK. Extremely low. One more shot. He will go down himself. Cap pressure trying to be applied. Some shots going out for Fight Breast Cancer. Nothing connecting yet. And I say yet because I'm sure we'll see some of those connect sooner or later. Cap pressure now applied in 57 seconds. And here's the battle. Aggressive, though, taking a lot of damage. Urchai taking the shot from that FE304. And the explosions are happening back and forth. Anubis going to pick Aggressor up. Rival trying to claw their way back here. Let's see if they can find another member here as Urchai is extremely low. Hall, World 2 Fnatic, and Anubis going around the corner, trying to find this overmatch that they can against Smiley and Baby Halo. And as they turn the corner, Valkyrie going to be the focus. Smiley Rage, though, going to go down to Anubis. Invade in that IS3, poking in the corner. He's looking for Valkyrie. He picks it up. A beautiful pickup there. Shots from that FE304. That artillery coming back as Baby Halo going to find Urchai. And now it looks like he's going to be the sandwich of that IS-3. Anubis, though, going to be on the reload. All he can do is ram and do as much damage, or hope to do as much damage as he can. Baby Halo, though, going to take some nice shots on him. He will have a shot up before Anubis will. But Hull going to respond by taking Baby Halo down. Just 3 members remain for the side of Team Rival. Jojo, Jackie, and Invade pushing in onto World War II. Fnatic trying to find some defense there as much as they can. And Super Destructo now still full health, moving his way through. A beautiful, another shot from Fight Breast Cancer onto World War II. Fnatic there, who is on the reload, is running away. Hull coming around the corner, takes some damage, but killing Invade in the process. And now Jojo Jackie, he has his 6 shots up. Super Destructo coming around from the back. Lamp doing a good job, their best that they can to fight back through. Jojo Jackie picking up Hall, and now just World War II Fnatic remains. He is still on the reload. 11 seconds remain for that. Once he has his 6 shots up, I'm not sure there's much that he can do. Jojo Jackie is low, but Super Destructo and Fight Breast Cancer are at full health. They are on the run. They know that they are on defense. And David, what that was a beautiful, a lot of shots there from Fight Breast Cancer.
I'd like to put out that Fight Breast Cancer also set World War II Fnatic on fire, as
Oh.
noticeable by his missing a fire extinguisher. Like we said, the 5100 gets set on fire very consistently, so that is not a tank. You can just drop the fire extinguisher and be okay with it, as perhaps you could with some other tanks. Arguably, the IS-3,
Sure.
because you really shouldn't be getting shot so much from behind with it in ideal circumstances.
Okay.
If you're running strategy in the way that you want to, but in all practicality, yeah, a 5100 is probably going to pull around and shoot you a couple times, and it's super debatable.
Oh, Super Destructo picking up World War II Fnatic, and now Lamp tying it up 4-4 as we go now into our tiebreaker match, the first match of the night. Like you're saying, you called it. It was going to be, we're going to be in for a long one. That's what it's been so far, 4-4 tying it up. But let's, kind of talking about. I love how when we talk about fires and fire extinguishers, that's when, was it 2 tanks of the same match get caught on fire? So maybe fire
Our commentator sorcery.
it's real.
What you don't know is right here. This is where RNG is decided. I've
Yep.
got it right in front of me.
It's
I
a whole
just press
panel.
buttons. It's like, does that gonna hit? Nope.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
gonna set on fire? Yes.
Yeah, I can't touch it though. It's strictly for the pros. I'm working my way up. It's fantastic. Maybe we'll show you a picture.
It's just karma for all the terrible, utterly terrible RNG I've had in my entire life. Now I am gifted with controlling yours.
Yeah.
And I will share that pain.
Now you
no,
know.
realistically, let's go to stats while we can.
Okay.
Getting way out of pocket here today. Jojo Jackie, 10 shots, 8 hits, 7 penetrations, leading his team with about 2,000 damage. Fight Breast Cancer, nothing to scoff at. 3 hits, 3 pens, 3 splash overall for about just over 1,300.
That's a good
which
chunk
is
of damage.
worth certainly more than his counterpart.
Hashtag.
The other expenditure of 6 points, who had none, although he did have quite a few cap points that didn't really pan out in the long run.
Right.
Hole, somebody we haven't typically seen kind of top the charts for his team, getting in a ton of damage with his IS-3, just over 2,800 honestly. 10 shots fired, 9 hits, 8 penetrations overall. That's really all that's worth discussing here. In terms of strategy, Rival had everything they needed to take that one home, and then for some reason they chose to fight in the 3 line instead of the 2 line. One set of roads over.
Would it change the
with
you think would
much
change the game?
better positioning in my mind. But I can kind of see what they were going for.
Okay.
I don't know if it was best, but it certainly allowed the 51-ton runner on top of the hill to get involved in the fight.
Yeah.
Who otherwise wouldn't have been able to. And I think it took Rival a little bit too long to recognize that was going on. Because if they did, all they really had to do was dive onto the team, pull the 2801 off Cap, and get him into the fight too. Cap is always, it's like a siren. It does literally make a siren. Why did I walk right into that one? I'm talking about the mythological creature that calls you to your death, and that's exactly what this did. So you got the FV304, who he's out of the fight. He wasn't, but he could have been. And then you have 5100 on top of the hill. So essentially you got 5 on 7 there if you just dump everybody on it. So take it while you have it and clean it up. But they can't see that like we can. And they took a good bit of damage getting to get those situations. Did the best with what they had already, with the hand they dealt themselves, honestly.
Yeah.
And it just didn't pan out. But now we're in a tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker map today
Mines.
is Mines.
I'm sorry, but I'm very excited for that. And we hear that Lamp decided they won the tiebreaker, and they've decided to go onto defense. Do you think this is a wise choice on this map?
I personally would rather be on offense.
Okay.
On mines.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean whatever. Mines is in my opinion
Mines
one
is
of the
mines.
most balanced maps.
Okay.
So whatever side you want to play on is whatever side you should play on, because play
Sure.
what you're confident in. And I suppose defense, if you're talking about raw balance, defense does have a few advantages in the sense that when the time runs out, they win.
You win, right?
Or if everybody dies all at once,
you win.
Because
right?
the only way for offense to win is to either kill all of you with one tank remaining, or to cap.
Cap.
So, but I personally, I actually factor that in when I'm talking about balance. If there were no defensive advantages, I'd take the north side every time. But
Okay.
as it is, rival in the north, Lamp choosing to take the south.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're into our final battle of our first match of the night. Lamp versus Rival. It is tied at 4-4. Lamp has chosen defense. Let's see if they can take it out, or if Rival can come back and just win one more. They've just needed to win one more for so long. Let's see if they can do it, ladies and gentlemen. Getting right into the battle. Let's take a look at what do we got for tanks.
I can promise you, winning that last one is often the hardest one out of them all.
Really?
Because you know it, and you put so much pressure on yourself. Lamp, 3 5100s, 3 T54 lightweights, and a T37. Meanwhile, Rival, 2 IS3s, 4 T54 lightweights, and a T37. Really only a difference of exchanging 1 T54 for 1 IS3. And not surprisingly, the team that's running a little bit heavier is on defense, and the team that's running a little bit lighter is on offense. So there you have it. Pretty much a summary of mines. Although, still, I'd rather just have the 4 T54 lightweights. In the event that anybody goes in the 1-2, you could do kind of what Synergy did, put a number of 54 lightweights on it. Always have an overmatched 54 lightweights. A little bit of damage coming out here in the middle, going both ways. And Lamp came out on the wrong side of that by about 20 hit points, which I'm not going to play it up. Not that catastrophic of a deal.
Sure. But again, Anubis and Ertai being able to get up on top of the hill free of damage, which let's see how effective that's going to be for Rival as we go on. David, looking at the side of Lamp, I was actually assuming, I was expecting to see, we saw, some of the artillery is being played. I was expecting to see an artillery on this map as well, which made me think, would you ever take an artillery on offense on mines? Would you ever do that?
I'd rather bring it on offense than on defense.
Oh, okay.
Personally.
Okay.
Just because my biggest concern with bringing in artillery is always getting rushed.
Sure.
Just a raw tank fight, in which case the arty doesn't get them a whole lot of chance. Where when you're on offense, the other team's fairly likely to sit still, especially on this map, from what we've seen. I don't think they should, but they do. And then your arty gets a chance to work, and it gets a chance to earn its spot, as we saw Crimson Corsair do in his match against Synergy, I believe.
Well, that's what I say. Oxmathis did take
do.
Germ down.
Yeah.
That's where that whole thing started.
We've seen, and that was actually kind of when we were definitively talking about how Artie is not so great on defense. Even Arclit, when he brought it, did not do so great on defense within artillery. And Arclit is a fantastic artillery player. I mean, we've talked a lot about Eclipse and Oxmathis, but we just haven't seen Arclit play his artillery that much. But when he does,
he's on.
He does quite well. I mean, we saw him rack up a bunch of numbers on steps, but he is not playing right now.
Sure.
Lamp and Rival are, eventually. Right now. So I'm just kidding. Right now, they are sitting still, and actually Rival is doing something quite smart in this instance. T37, 2 T54 lightweights coming around the outside of Anubis, also in a T54 lightweight, trailing a little bit behind. Sure. And they're going to check out the 1-2, and the only thing there to stop them is fight breast cancer. If they take it, they can easily get shots in behind those IS-3s.
Okay.
However, it's going to be on the rest of Team Rival in the middle to stop those IS-3s from coming over and pummeling them the instant that happens. So it's going to be a big kind of trade situation. Probably lose fight breast cancer unless Rival just lets them slip through their fingers. And then they'll probably get a little bit of damage on Super Destructo, Aggresso, etc., or Aggressor, etc., and invade before they go over and fight Hall and Valkyrie Viewers.
wow.
However, Hall and Valkyrie Viewers are moving up a little bit into the middle. I'm not sure that's a great idea, and the fight is now actually, escaping.
It's going, Super
There
Destructo
you
now
go.
backing off, taking 600 points of damage, while the 3 members of Team Rival have successfully gone down to that southwestern cap, forcing fight breast cancer to run away. Super Destructo taking even more damage as Valkyrie takes some in response, getting behind that rock. And now let's see how much damage can come across. World 2 Fnatic taking some more shots off there. Looking at his Jojo Jackie rushing around the back. Heavy Halo still on top, and Valkyrie taking some more damage, but Invade getting a double tap from Hall. Anubis finding Super Destructo. A nice pickup there from over down to that southwestern corner. A beautiful pickup, taking now one of the IS-3s out of the fight. And Lamp down a lot more health, over 1,000 HP. in favor, going on the side of rival. Valkyrie takes some shots from Smiley in that T-54, doing a good job dodging that. Jojo Jackie running into the town. Now, David, looking at his positioning right there, what is he trying to do? As Invade and Baby Halo both taking a good chunk of damage.
I'm not even going to speculate so much on Jojo Jackie right now. Maybe going for a flank, maybe being told for a flank. Apparently, I am speculating, and perhaps he can get some shots on the backside of Hill, which aren't great shots. Maybe useful. But
here we go, though,
certainly
over
nothing that's going to make up an IS-3.
Fight Breast Cancer is going to get cornered here. Anubis to Django and Urtai. One more shot. No, the Hall going to pick it up from on top of the hill. A nice little pickup. And now Smiley Rage looks like he's going to be the next target. Taking a lot of damage there. 421. One more shot. I would say 2 more shots in that TPD4. And he'll go down. Nope, it's going to be Anubis with the 1. Again, overcorrecting myself. Another beautiful pickup with now 4 members remaining on the side of Lamp. And all 7 for Team Rival. Rival doing a fantastic job. They are definitely in the driver's seat of this match. Hall picking up another kill from on top of the hill in that IS-3. 3 members, Aggressor, Invade, and Baby Halo, as cap pressure is being applied on that Western cap, the number 2 cap. And David, it looks like Team Rival's got this one in the bag.
Absolutely. They really... I don't think anybody in the league could throw this lead, no matter how hard they even wanted to. Aggressor, Invade, and Baby Halo are the only things left. IS-3s are very slow in comparison to the other stuff. Invade's still taking damage. Baby Halo perhaps going to go around trying to get a reset, but as you said, Rival, I always see World War II Fnatic, and I want to call him Fnatic, which out of anybody who could possibly talk about it, probably the least likely mistake. Baby Halo go down relatively soon.
Looks like World War II Fnatic going to pick that one up.
Just in general, well played by Rival. Slightly strangely done from what I've seen. Actually moving up in the middle in coordination with the 1-2.
Huh.
From what I know is not really how you want to do it. But it worked. And maybe the timing is so flawless on their part, or they knew exactly what they're doing, that it wasn't as big of a risk as I saw, but typically, as we've seen before,
congratulations. Yeah, congratulations on Rival. They're taking the 5-4 victory in that tiebreaker. David, again, so close for Lamp. Lamp got so close. I mean, they are looking better from maybe this break, maybe these new additions.
Yeah.
Would you say, right?
Yeah, they're definitely looking a lot better. Unfortunately for them, it didn't come earlier in the season, so it's going to be kind of a struggle. That's another painful loss for them, as that's one of the other teams that they could potentially be competing for relegation. So they need to beat them more than anybody to make a greater point disparity. However, Rival's certainly happy with it, as they told us in the face-off, focusing on winning and
not worrying about
what
relegation
could in the future, paying off for them here, sealing a close match, though.
Absolutely. Congratulations to them for picking that one up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for our first match. Coming up is match number 2. Don't go anywhere unless you're not at battleviewer.com. Then go to there right now. Do it right now. We'll be right back after this quick break.